Hello YouTube, Liz here. Today's November the 30th, 2019, and I wanted to come on and show you some of my finished objects and talk about the changes a little bit that are going to be made to our channels. First of all, this sweater I'm wearing, I followed a video tutorial from Kristina on Mother Cow Crochet, and she did it in 3 parts. I believe the neck starts first, and then the body of the sweater, and then the sleeves. So it starts at the top, and you make ribbed neck, and then you make the part that goes down to about where the dark brown starts, and then the body of the sweater, and it has raglan sleeves. And then you make the sleeves, and I have a sweatshirt on underneath there, and then you make the front post, back post, double crochet ribbing, and then I have the ribbing at the bottom right here. So Kristina wanted to see how it turned out, so here it is. Kristina, thank you so much for the pattern tutorial. That was just fantastic. I love doing it. It worked up amazingly fast. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was going to take me a month, but it took me about a week, and that wasn't breaking my head trying to do it quickly. So anyway, here it is. Thank you. I'm going to take it off because it's kind of warm in here. So I wore it on Thanksgiving to the family dinner. And it was just perfect with some beige pants. I really was proud of that. I even washed it and it came out just fine. I used Red Heart Super Saver Ombre, and the colorway is Cocoa. So it was the ombre type yarn. And so when it came time to make the sleeves, I was really worried because I thought, oh, I've seen people make sweaters and the sleeve striping matches perfectly. And I'm like, how'd you do that? So I reached out to a few people, and they all said that they used 2 skeins of yarn and started the sleeves. Well, that's great, but the ombre yarn doesn't always start. The skeins don't start at the same place on every skein. So what I did was I hunted through the bins. I got the yarn at Joann, and I hunted through the bins until I found 2 skeins that looked like they were approximately the same, starting in the middle with the dark brown. And so I thought I'd just go for it, and it turned out pretty well. I was really happy. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's one of my ends sticking out. Okay, that's not good. I guess I didn't trim it close enough. I had to fix that. But anyway, the sleeve came out with that striping on that side, and it's a little bit off right here, but I'm going to ignore that because I'm really proud of this sweater, to the point where I think I'm going to make another one. And I'm going to make it using this Red Heart Roll With It tweed. This is in neon. I couldn't find any more neon, so I got Beach House. Let me grab one of them. This is Beach House. And it was the only color, well, I like that color, but it was the one that they had enough that I could get 5 skeins, because I think that's about how many, cakes. I think that's about how many I'll need. This has 296 yards in it. With the Super Saver Ombre, I think it has 300 and something, almost 400. Let's see. This is the same yarn, but a different colorway. This is beautiful. Super Saver Ombre has 482. Oh, I was way off. So I used 4 of these, I think, to make that sweater. And the reason I needed that 4th one was because of the sleeve striping, to make it come out evenly, or as close to it as I could. But anyway, so the roll with it is a 4 weight, but it's a thick 4 weight. It's really pretty amazingly thick for a 4 weight. But I'm going to give it a shot and try to make another sweater, or will make another sweater, hopefully. But this Roll With It tweed in neon, I made the Bandana Cowl on Bag O Day Crochet. I used her video tutorial and it came out like this. And I didn't put any fringe on it. I don't intend to put fringe on it. This is a gift, and the person I'm making it for I don't think would want fringe. So it's got the folded down collar, and I shortened it. Let's see, this is the front. I made a more narrow collar. I think there's 80 some odd stitches on Crystal's pattern, and instead of going when you make it starts down here and you go up to the top, and when you get to a certain point of finishing the granny, then you start making the neck part. And when I got to that part, I just did every other stitch to make it about 60 some odd stitches rather than 80. And I got the idea to do that from Ella on No Catchy Name. She had done that, and I thought, oh, that's a great idea, because I didn't want the neck so big. So there's that, and you can just fold it down. I didn't make it extremely long because I was trying to do it toward the person that this is for might like. But I think that came out pretty cute. I love the colors. So much so that when I bought the yarn for the sweater, I went back and they had one more of the neon, and I would have bought more of it if they'd had it, but I was thinking that I needed it to finish out this cowl, but I didn't. I ended up just finishing it with exactly one cake. I just had a little bit left over. So I played a little bit of yarn chicken with that, but I didn't feel like it was too bad because I had the second skein. So anyway, then I made a poncho. And this is, I used Jayda InStitches Granny Square Poncho. And you make I made 15-inch, but 4 15-inch grannies. And then you sew them together and put the border around the neck, or you do the neck shaping, and then you put the border around the bottom. And it came out like this. So you just make 4 granny squares, and you sew together you lay them out so that there's 1, 2, and 3, and you sew the borders, the sides together. You sew the sides together, the grannies, and then you lay it down in such a way that you flip it over and fold that number 1 square, this one, back, and you put the 4th square along the other sides. And so when you hold it up, it's shaped like this. Then you go back, and I took black yarn and attached it around and did the first row in black here, and you just do like single crochet all the way around to grab the edges of all those 4 granny squares. And then I took this color, which was Aruba Sea. This is beautiful. The Red Heart Super Saver Ombre Beautiful. I used the Mosaic Granny Square Stitch that's from just blanked on her name. Glenda. Oh, shoot. You guys know who she is. I'm sorry, Glenda. I forgot her channel name. Something Granny. Well, anyway, I'll put it in the description box. I'm sorry. I used her Stitch of the Week number 91 and did the mosaic squares. I think that's also called the Glorious Granny. I think Fiber Spider has a tutorial on that too, where he made a shawl or something. Anyway, so I took that and went around, and then I took the Aruba Sea, the Red Heart Super Saver and Aruba Sea, to pick up this color as best I could with what I had. And then I started doing rounds to bring up the neck. And the neck was really big it came way down here on my shoulders before I started the neck shaping. And I just kept going with it until I put in as many rows as I thought I wanted around my neck. This was for me. I was going to make it for a gift, but I had a couple of issues. I made a couple of little mistakes. I thought that after I started putting it together, I didn't. When you make this granny square, the last round is different than the other rounds, and I failed to do that, and I thought it was a mistake. But when I started sewing these together and putting the border on is when I realized that that was okay, because it actually worked out better. So to do the border, all I did was go around the whole thing with black, and then I picked up the Aruba C again, and then I put rows of until I ran out of black that I had on hand. So anyway, this is my poncho, and I really like it. It's really pretty. I love the color. So I'm going to make another one of those cowls for another gift, and I think I'm going to use I dropped it, this Ferris wheel and Morning Java. I think I'm going to do that, or it's for a man, and so a young man. This is black marble. I love this yarn print, so I was thinking I might do that or this one. I haven't decided yet. I was just getting those out last night to decide what I was going to do. So yeah, I've made okay, I've made some loveys where you make the granny square I was following Zelda at Zelda NRJ3's lovey pattern. I made several of those and put them around Beanie Boos. They're a little bit larger of the Beanie Babies, but now I'm afraid to show those because of the new COPPA laws, so I won't be showing any more of those. And I finished the wedding dress set. I made the veil and the shoes for my granddaughter's 19-inch American Girl doll and our generation doll. It fits all those 18-inch dolls. And the pattern for that was from Norma at All My Crochet. So I don't feel comfortable showing anything that might be construed as a toy or for children now on my channel. So I'm going to be going back through my videos and deleting the ones that show anything to do with doll clothes and if my pets are featured in there, because I have had only 2 or 3 videos where my little chihuahuas were in there, and the rules are vague. Everyone's confused as to what is considered for children. My channel is not directed to children. I have that in the description of my channel. I've never posted anything with children in mind. It's always for other adult, basically crafters, crocheters, loom knitters, needle tatters, people that are interested in yarn. I didn't think about children ever being interested in any of that. So I don't really know what to make of all that. I'm in the same boat as everybody else. So what I'm doing is I went back and I tried to delete anything that might be misconstrued, and I haven't gotten very far with it yet. I think we have till December the 10th. So I'll be working on that some more this week. But I'll be careful in the future about not showing those things. But I have Instagram and Ravelry, and then my projects are on those platforms, and I'll put my username down in the description box below so that if anybody's interested, they can go over. I made a couple of Santa hats that were Team Spirit. I was inspired by Rose at Rose Likes Crochet to make the Team Spirit Santa hats, but Santa hats can be attractive to children. I heard someone mention in one of their videos that this is also including holiday characters and holiday themes, and that's a holiday theme, Santa hats. Even though I made one in Green Bay Packer colors for one of my husband's friends, and I made one in Minnesota Vikings color for one of my friends that lives down the street. I haven't given that to her yet. I'm gonna hunt her down today and give it to her so she can use that. She'll like it. I put fur. I used Go for Faux in chinchilla color around the bottom of the Santa hat with it. It's got a white brim, and I put around Go for Faux in chinchilla, which is kind of a little bit of an off-white color. And then I put a fur pom-pom on top. I bought a package of pom-poms from Amazon, and they have snaps. And I struggled with the snaps because the yarn, the thickness of the yarn was just enough that the snap wouldn't hold. If I put the snap inside the fabric at the top of the Santa hat and then put the other snap to try to push it together, it wouldn't meet because the yarn was in the way. But I figured out a way to do it. I ended up sewing the snap on to the top of the hat and then snapping it, and that worked okay. So yay. Yeah, but things are changing. I don't really know what to make of all of that. I know that a lot of people are saying, well, I'll just go put my videos on Facebook or someplace else, but this isn't YouTube specific. The COPPA laws is federal law, and it's not just directed at YouTube. It goes for other platforms as well, so we need to all be aware of that. That hasn't been talked about too much. But I feel safe right now. I don't have a Facebook account. I never had one. I don't intend to get one. I do have Instagram. And so what I do is I post the pictures on Instagram. And so far, nobody's mentioned anything about putting pictures of toy-like things on Instagram. So we'll see where this is all going. I don't know. But I'm going to now work on the loveys. I have 3 more to make, and I am going to, they're posted on Instagram, and well, the ones I've already finished are, and then I'm going to I'm going to start this cowl. It's another gift, and then I'm going to start another sweater for myself. Where I live, we have a very short winter, I guess, winter in central Arizona. By middle of January, it'll be warming again, and then February, it'll be spring. I mean, by the middle of February, we're not wearing sweaters anymore. So I better hustle and get it done if I'm going to do it. So that's my news, and I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I will come back on pretty soon and post some more updates about my sweater if I get it started and my other finished objects. I don't know if I'm going to be doing much shopping. I didn't go anywhere for Black Friday yesterday. I intended to, but we had a terrible storm come through here. We never have bad weather like this except during the monsoon in the summer. This summer we didn't get any monsoon. We had no storms, and so we had no rain. So we were glad to get the rain, but it started about 2 o'clock in the morning. This terrible wind came. It was tropical storm force sustained wind here where I live. It was like 25, 35 mile an hour winds, and then in gusts. And well, every time that gust would come, I could hear a thump on the roof. And I thought, what is that? It was really disturbing. We have a gigantic tree out in the backyard. There's not very many trees around here, but we have one, and it's old, and it's got a lot of dead branches on it, and I was just really worried that that tree was going to fall where I was sleeping in my room. So I don't know what that noise was, but we're going to have somebody come Monday and check and go up on the roof and see what that could have been, because it was very disturbing. And then the rain started about 5 o'clock in the morning, so we were up all night between, let's see, that was Thanksgiving night. Yeah, I think some people had a lot of damage. We didn't really have too much. Some things were broken. Glass light fixtures in the back were broken. The rain came up underneath our back patio and just soaked everything. Usually it doesn't do that. If we do get rain, it doesn't ever reach inside the patio. So that was pretty surprising. So that was excitement around here. And usually every day it's sunshine. I think we have 350 days of sunshine a year. So that was one of the ones that was cloudy. Check that box off the calendar. So Anyway, December's almost here, and with it comes all the fun of December. So we'll start getting ready for that. And until then, I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.